Hello everyone, my name is Melissa, this is Leila, and this is Grace. We are SICAP students. Here's an interesting fact. Did you know that 51% of the world's population uses social media? That is indeed a lot of people. Today, we will talk about the importance of social media marketing, which is also known as SNS marketing for our major, baking and pastry. First, we will talk about the impact of SNS on baking and pastry. Then, we will talk about the success story of SNS marketing. Lastly, we will discuss how to use SNS in the future. Now, Leila will talk about the impact of SNS on baking and pastry.
SNS seems to have nothing to do with baking. But in fact, SNS has had a big impact on baking, and it can be said to be innovative. First of all, SNS is an abbreviation for Social Networking Service, which is a service that allows the user to form a connection online. For example, there are sites and applications like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and others. The development of media has popularized our major. 10 years ago, patissier was a low-profile job in Korea. However, many media outlets and extension of SNS have become a medium for popularizing patissier jobs and teachers. Typical examples include the animated series Dreaming Patissier, which changed many elementary school students' future hopes becoming patissier when she was running. There is also YouTuber Ari Kitchen, who developed several desserts and even sold them. Due to the influence of these media, most people are now familiar with the job of patissier, and patissiers were inspired by the media. Next, Melissa will talk about a successful case of SNS marketing.
There are many businesses that became successful because of social media. For example, Aiming Market is one of the Instagram markets. This market is well known for its bread catering. Have you ever heard of bread catering? Okay, this word is a newly coined word that combines bread and ticketing. It's like a ticket for a concert. You should buy the bread quickly online before it sells out. The CEO said the most important factor in the Instagram market is communication. For example, Aiming Market uses taste maps to help customers buy products that suit their taste. Finally, Grace will talk about how to use SNS in the future.
Let's discuss the ways to use social media in culinary arts. First of all, the most important thing is to understand the changing trends and customer needs through social media. This helps us make creative, tasty bread that people love. Moreover, we need to produce short ads. Advertising is a good way to effectively inform and persuade consumers in a short period of time. Nowadays, there are many markets that only sell products on the internet. So, we need the ability to take good pictures, make promotional materials, and attract customers' attention with new ideas. These are important for our successful business. This brings us to the end of our presentation. Today, we presented about the importance of SNS marketing for our major. The 3 points of our presentation were the impact of SNS on baking and pastry, a success story of SNS, and how to use SNS in culinary arts. We really hope you become the valued customers of our online market in the future. Thank you for listening to our presentation.